It's 4 a.m. and I just beat Elden Ring. I feel like I've been through a roller coaster of emotions and still feel like I know very little about everything I just experienced for over 150 hours, but sleep is for the weak anyway. This is going to be a more laid back and personal video of mine because I want to make this game appeal and seem accessible to any audience like myself who think they could possibly benefit from it. I can't talk about what the game is about, truthfully, because it's obtuse enough for everyone to draw their own conclusions, and I don't want to rob you of that potential future awe. What I can talk about is why it's so personal to me. Elden Ring and every other game From Software has made is a masterpiece of a video game. They're truly pure artistic expressions that, if you just so happen to show anyone to your literature professor, they would ask you to write down the whole story and lore of it in book form so that the entire class could basically study the meanings of the spirit summons or Marika's true intentions towards the Erd Tree. So I'm here to talk about why the Soulsborne series and, well, most recently Elden Ring have helped me through some of the hardest parts of my life, and if it sounds kind of oxymoronic, it is on the surface. These games are marketed around the term prepare to die, and they seem to have been known more famously for their difficulty rather than their global and strangely positive player base that will interact with you and help you throughout these so-called impossible games. If you don't give up and you keep trying, by the time you overcome a hard boss or entire area, you look back and do so with a feeling of personal accomplishment and realize it didn't take you nearly as long as you thought it would, or maybe it wasn't even as hard as you thought it was. There are few things in life worse than depression, and fewer words it seems to help when you're deep in the throes of it. In these games, you rest and get your player back to normal states by stopping at sites of grace. Just like depression, you can sit there all you want and loathe in your own sorrow, letting the demons around you attack you without even putting up a fight or trying. Or you can get up and keep pushing forward until you eventually break down the obstacles into piles of rocks that once seemed like mountains. Oftentimes you will hear on your journey, "Don't go hollow." My favorite fan theory is that the people ridden with madness are the other players who have played the game but given up before finishing the journey. In death, they do the same as in life, much like a metaphor for our own legacies. If we sit around all day and refuse to try to do anything differently, we will turn out to be remembered in that same way. It sounds silly and random that these fantasy games ended up impacting me the way that they have, but they're so good that they've become my brain's newest and biggest obsession and even tainted other video games for me because they're just that good, I suppose. They've even impacted the way I view and try to create films. After dying in these games so many times, it's no longer the major frustration, and you can apply that to real life. Instead, it's just the rungs we climb over and over to reach success and new heights. These games don't revel in the death and macabre. I instead think they are rather celebrations of life. The experiences you will find yourself going through give you the tools you need to better your player in obtuse ways that don't always make sense, which is, well, just like life itself. So thank you, Dark Souls, and don't you dare go hollow, my friends.
Well,
Where'd he go?
he did it! He gave up.
Congrats!
What's that?